I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So today, a group of beast snaggas is out hunting around, and they come across a particularly tasty and large-looking target. In this case, some tyranids. So I bought the knob box, and apparently you can make a big mech out of it, and the knobs weren't going together anyway. So I went ahead and made this big mech with the teleporter blasted because it looks cool. I think he turned out okay. I've seen the new pictures on Reddit and whatnot of the new big mech or the new mech or whatever. It looks kind of cool, but I kind of like the blocky armor orks. So I don't know. So here we have today's beast snagga hunting party, led by this beast boss, and then 10 beast snagga boys. One of them with I think it's a thump gun. 3 dudes on Smasher Squigs, and then no, these are 3 Squig Hog boys and a knob on a Smasher Squig. That's what it is. I haven't actually used these guys just by themselves, so this is kind of like my experiment. Good times. Alright, so the beast snaggers are gonna find these tyranids. You got a regular hive tyrant with a Stranglethorn cannon and the monster scything talons. And then 2 groups of 3 tyrannid warriors. And this one has a bunch of melee stuff, and then 2 guys have spine fists. This one also has a bunch of melee stuff, and there's a flesh borer and a venom cannon. Alright, so this is the little area where the orks are going to encounter the tyranids. Just a little small 2.5 by 2.5 area space. 2.5 feet. Alright, well, I'm gonna roll deployment, set these guys up. And we're gonna see if some beast snaggas can kill some tyranids. Okay, so the orcs have chosen this corner side over here with the Squig Hug boys and the Smash the Squig guy. In the upper left corner, beast boss on the terrain piece itself. And then the snagga boy is ready to charge around this side of the terrain piece. Alright, so set up the tyranids opposite the orcs in this corner. Got the hive tyrant in the back, and then the 3 man units of tyrannid warriors in front of him. The orcs won the roll-off, so they get to go first. Alright, so all of these guys advanced. The beast snagga boys advanced around the corner and just kind of hid behind this little terrain feature. The beast boss moved off of the terrain feature and just kind of moved around it. And then the Squig Hog boys and the knob on the Smasher Squig, they advanced pretty far, going around the far side of the middle feature. So they advanced and can't shoot, can't really do anything beyond that. First couple turns are always just kind of jockeying for movement and position and whatnot, so that'll be the end of the orc turn. So we'll take it over to the tyranids. Alright, so the tyranids have just moved forward. I forgot to mention that they all have toxin sacs and adrenal glands. Glands give an additional inch of movement, so they'll go a little bit closer. I always forget that the hive tyrant is a psyker, so I guess he's going to try and smite the knob on a Smash a Squig. That's a 5. That's a 9. D3 damage. That's a 1. So 1 damage to the knob. Alright, well, that'll take us to the tyrannid shooting phase. Okay, so that was a pretty impressive shooting experience for tyranids. So the mostly unpainted group at the bottom of the screen managed to kill off a couple of the beast snagga boys. And then the Hive Tyrant and the other group of Tyranid warriors managed to kill off the Nob on the Smash Square. I mean, I figured that, the bigger orcs would want to be in front. I figured they'd be able to take the damage better, but apparently not. Oh well. I'm not going to try and charge because that's an 11-inch charge, and my dice just do not like me today. So, I'll just swing it back on over to the orc turn. Alright, so the Beast Snagga boys have just kind of moved up between these two little pillar things, going towards the Tyranid warriors. The Beast boss has advanced forward, going up in the middle there. And the Squighog boys have just kind of moved around the outside here, heading towards the Tyranid warriors. Yeah, I really only have the one Psyker for the orcs, and I don't even use them really all that much because, like most things related to the orcs, orc Psykers just don't seem to work all that well. So we're gonna do some orc shooting instead, which again they also suck at. So there I go, talking mad shit about the orcs and their crappy shooting ability, and of course, they have to prove me wrong. Like, the Squighog boys, actually all of those guys hit with their shots. And they actually managed to wound a Tyranid warrior for 2 points of damage, which was pretty awesome considering nobody else hit with anything. So that'll take us to the one thing that orcs are truly, truly good at, and that is clobbering. I feel like the Hulk and the orcs would have gotten along really, really well. So the Squidhog boys over here are going to charge into the Tyranid warriors on the left. And then the Beast Snagga boys are going to charge into the Tyranid warriors on the right. The Beast boss unfortunately advanced, and he can only watch. Hopefully, his boys will do something awesome. I've just had one of the most amazing fight faces I've ever had. I had a shooting phase once against a guy. I had like 6 Canoptic Wraiths on the board, and he used pretty much his entire Tau gun line, and they all survived. He was perplexed. I was super happy. This kind of went like that. The Squighog boys and the Beast Snagga boys, they made their charges. And because the Squighog boys had charged as close to the Hive Tyrant as they did, he went ahead and heroically intervened. So the Beast Snagga boys killed all of their Tyranid warriors. The Squighog boys killed all of their Tyranid warriors. And then the Hive Tyrant just killed all the Squighog boys. It was the most amazingly beautiful thing I think I've seen in a really long time. Like, the orcs definitely came through for me and killed most of the Tyranids. They definitely killed all the warriors. And if they hadn't been super close to that Hive Tyrant, they might still be alive on that side. So, but it was just super awesome. Man. Well, with that being said, it is the Hive Tyrant's turn. So after aesthetically turning around the Hive Tyrant and moving him a little bit closer to the Beast boss, that's all he's going to do for movement. I am going to remember now that he does in fact have a Psyker ability, so he's going to smite somebody. Probably the Beast boss since he's the closest. And the dice did not want to go where they needed to go. So 7 is definitely going off. And 2 damage to the Beast boss. I've always kind of viewed the Tyranids as kind of like better versions of the orcs. Like, they kick ass at melee stuff, and they can shoot. But I was just horribly proved wrong on that assumption again. Every game I like go into it with assumptions, and they always get shattered. Like in this case, where the Hive Tyrant managed to get some hits on the Beast boss with his cannon thing, but the Beast boss managed to save. Invulnerable saves are amazing. So the Hive Tyrant's definitely going to charge into the Beast Boss. That's just happening. So you're going to see an awesomely awesome monstrous battle here. I remember the game where the Beast Boss charged into the Rogaldorn, so this should be kind of like that. The Hive Tyrant made its charge, did a little bit of damage to the Beast Boss. The Beast Boss didn't do any damage to the Hive Tyrant. Alright, well, that does make it the Orc turn. So the Beast Boss is going to remain in combat, and then the Beast Snagga boys are just going to get closer. They all got pistols, so they can shoot before they charge into this thing, so they're going to shoot. So the awesomeness of Orc shooting once again reveals itself. All of those guys, except for the guy with the thump gun, has a slugga. They all took shots at the Hive Tyrant, because you can shoot pistols into combat guys, and not a single one of them hit. In fact, I rolled like pretty much all 1s and 2s, which is always super awesome. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go into the charge phase, fight phase, for these guys, the Beast Snagga boys. Charge into the Hive Tyrant. And then these guys are probably just gonna fight it out for the rest of the 8 to 12 minutes this guy's left alive. Although, I mean, it's possible the Hive Tyrant could win here. We'll see. So, yeah, charge fight phase. So the Beast Snagga boys definitely made their charge. They did a couple points of damage to the Hive Tyrant. But unfortunately for them, he turned around and killed a whole crap ton of them in response. Like 4 of them. And it's the Hive Tyrant's turn. He's not going to move. He's going to do a Psyker thing. The Smite. Alright, so for Smite, 7 goes off. It does 3 damage. I was going to do it to the Beast Boss, but I mean, even though they're all technically the closest unit, he's in HQ, so it should go to the Beast Snagga boys, so 3 of them die. And then we'll do the fight phase. Alright, so I divided his attacks up. 3 to the Knob and 3 to the Beast Boss. Massively overkilled the Knob. The Beast Boss actually managed to save 2 of the 3 attacks, but since it does, 2 damage on the monstrous sizing talons, he only had 2 damage, 2 health left, so that means that the hunting party has failed, and the tyranids continue to, wander around being targets for orcs. Yay, Tyranid victory! This was more of an experiment for me to try and... I've been trying to make a decision for a couple months now as to whether I was gonna go with, like, basically the snake bite version of orcs, where they don't really do a lot of technology, so a whole lot of Beast Snagga related units, or if I was gonna stay on the, like, technological orcs, where they, like, scavenge stuff and, make big guns and stuff. So I do like the aesthetic of the Beast Snagga stuff. It's super cool. It looks nice, and it's fun to paint. But I may end up going the other way now. Because no lie, I love playing orcs. They smash stuff really, really well. The fact that the Beast Snagga boys and the Squighog boys were able to kill 3 Tyranid warriors each was pretty nice and awesome to see. The Hive Tyrant, frankly, it was just too big for him. Oh well, one of the reasons we do these things, to see what does and doesn't work against stuff, so yay! If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it, especially if you've made it to this particular end and you've made it past the rambling. Still working on moving past the tragedy, so I'm thinking that the videos might start coming a little bit more regularly like they were before. Maybe not as frequently, but maybe more regularly. I don't know. Either way, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.